Welcome to Little Bracket of Horrors, the pod that puts the fight in fright.
You have created a monster and it will destroy you. It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! The monster has been seen in the hills terrorizing the mountainside.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Derek.
I'm Shelly.
And I'm Roger.
And we are Little Bracket of Horrors. And today we have a Derek pick, and that is The Evil Dead. Super excited to get into this, but before that, let's play a little catch up. Guys, have you watched anything scary, or has anything scary happened?
Well, I did just watch The Evil Dead last night, so for this podcast. So
yes, that's
on
good.
That was good. Let me bring up.
That's like conceit. Like, we know you're gonna watch that movie. It's other movies, Roger. Get it together.
Oh, okay. All right, I got my list open. I had to kill time to open up my list. All right. So we watched. I had Lisa. Well, of course, Independence Day, came around. So watched a few movies. I watched Ghoulies 2.
Oh,
I had a friend over, Brad, and we watched that. That was a good one. You ever seen Ghoulies 2, Derek?
no, I have not seen. I haven't even seen the first Ghoulies. So
Oh my, Derek!
you can
One
shame
of these
me.
might have to go on the wheel next season.
There we go.
Just so Shelly, have you seen Ghoulies or Ghoulies 2?
I might have seen Ghoulies, but I can't remember.
Ghoulies 2 is my favorite. It's pretty. It's a fun one. Of course, we watched some Jaws when Lisa got back from her trip. I saved it for her. Also,
we tried to watch it on the trip, and she wouldn't watch it with us.
Just saving it with her husband. You want to watch it in style, 4K, baby, surround sound.
Oh yeah, that's exactly why.
Then I had her. We watched The Blackening, which is a kind of a horror comedy, which is pretty. I like it. Lisa so on it, but I think it's pretty funny. It's a black comedy. Makes fun of black culture and black movies and stuff like that. But it's fun. It's so much fun. Yeah, I like it a lot.
That's a fairly new movie, right?
Yeah, it came out in
ago?
2022.
Okay.
I just picked it up because it was on sale. And then we went and watched. I know you guys saw it too. Evil Dead Burn.
Yeah.
Yes. Thoughts was I didn't like it as much as Rise, but it wasn't the worst Evil Dead movie in my opinion. But it's good. You get what you expect out of it. You get blood, gore, evil shit. So and that's why I like. And plus that post credit scene was like, mwah, was so good. Not the first one, but the second one.
Yeah.
I won't give that away. Then I watched. Melissa was out of town recently for work. I watched Conjuring: Last Rites, the fourth Conjuring movie. I hadn't seen it yet. I just thought it was so. Nothing special here.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing special. Then I watched The Mortuary Assistant on Shudder. Remember, you can get Shudder for $7.99 a month. Sign up where you can.
Pay for all your fuckers Shudder. Don't even try to like.
But that
all
movie,
your members have Shudder thanks to me.
I only gave that. I only gave that movie 2.5 stars.
That movie sucked.
It was not very good. But that's it. That's my movie roundup. Of course, I watched Independence Day on Independence Day because that's one of my favorite movies ever, and it's just so much fun. And I watched. It's not a horror movie, but I highly recommend it. The movie Kill from 2023. It's from India. Okay. It's their version of like John Wick, and it's John Wick in Train from Busan to Busan. Yeah. Combined without zombies. That's what the movie is, and it's awesome. So highly recommended. But that's it for me.
That's a lot. I mean, you're constantly watching shit, but yeah, that's a laundry list of stuff.
Derek, that's why I am the third host of this podcast, because I watch a lot of fucking movies.
For a reason.
But I don't watch as many movies as some other people I know. I watch a moderate amount, I believe,
Yeah.
of movies.
And let us not forget that he watched Evil Dead.
Oh yes, we can't forget that.
The Evil Dead. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I can't believe we're doing like the modern one, right? We did the one from like 10 years ago, right? That's the one we watched today because that's the one I watched for the show. Fuck.
You
Oh
are
fuck,
the
was that the wrong
worst.
one?
You are the
Oh
worst.
shit. Oh, this is gonna be bad.
No. Oh no, we're fucked. Yeah, so Shelly and I, we went to see Evil Dead Burn. We went to the theaters. It's the first time, and actually this only the second time this year I've been to the theater. So thank you to Shelly for bringing me out. It was a blast. I had fun watching the movie. I thought it was much meaner than some other Evil Dead movies that have come out. It was brutal. It takes a lot for me to wince in my seat and like make noises, and I feel like I was making noises every 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, Shelly can tell you about that, but
I definitely was.
yeah.
There was a lot of like real gross shit.
Yeah.
I think they've been trying to take it further and further ever since Evil Dead Rise. I mean, I know this is the first movie since then, but you know, with certain movies that have been coming out recently, I think everybody's trying to push the threshold of how far they can take it. I think it could tune down a little bit and still have the same impact, but those are the kind of things I'm like, that's not necessary. That really wasn't. That was just gross.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the first 10 minutes of the movie. It was the longest opener to a movie.
It was like 30 minutes. It was nuts.
And suddenly they're like, Evil Dead Burn. I'm like, oh,
I
is
think
it starting now?
I think it plays off Rise, the beginning of Rise, right? Because this is it's the same girl from the
Right,
beginning of Rise,
right.
and the one that leads
However,
Rise.
I think they also took a little long to get to the like wrapping it into the Evil Dead universe. I know they had the lake scene, and like you knew that's what we were doing. But once they got to like the brothers and the club scene and like leading into the funeral, I'm like, where are we tying this all in? Like, where are we going with this? So I don't know. I could have had that a little faster.
Yeah.
But
It's because they're looking for something. I don't know what it is, but maybe they'll find it.
Maybe they keep digging, they'll find it.
What's your least favorite Evil Dead movie out of all, including the Bruce Campbell ones, all of them?
Oh shit.
are you asking me or Derek?
Both of you. What's
Oh.
your least favorite?
My
I can
God.
tell you mine.
Go ahead. We'll go with yours first then.
Army of Darkness
Yeah.
is my least favorite. And that's a lot of people's favorite, but I'm not saying it's a bad movie. If I rank them, that's my least favorite one. That's one I have watched the least.
Okay. Yeah, if we're going on watching the least, I mean, it's probably the 2013 rebooting, whatever
Ooh.
it is.
That
But it's still,
no, no. Don't go with what you watch least. What's your least favorite?
no, but I mean, I like that one, but it's the one that I've went back and visited the
But
least.
he's saying the original universe, right?
No, both. Either one. It just an
All of them?
evil
All
any
the-
Evil Dead movies. It just happened to be Army of Darkness. Just be the one I've watched the least. But when I'm like, let me watch an Evil Dead movie, I just never think let me put on Army of Darkness. I usually put on others. That's why it has become my least watched one, because I usually watch Evil Dead 2 or the original Evil Dead or Evil Dead remake or Rise more
I was
than
gonna say
I would put on
2013
before
remake should
Darkness.
not be ranked too low. I think they did a phenomenal job with the
No,
remake.
they did, but it's all the other ones are just the first three are so much of a home for me that I've watched them numerous before going into the recent stuff. It's
I would
tough.
watch 2013 before I would turn on 1981.
Before
There, I
the
said it.
original. Oh,
Correct.
the original one's my North Star. It's my number one Evil Dead. But they're all I love them all. I think they're all really good, and I like what
Yeah.
they did with 2013. But yeah, if I had to choose, I guess I'd go with that one because I really love Rise, and
I'll be
I had a
leaving
blast
the
with Burn.
podcast now. So, wait, you would rank Burn over the 2013 remake?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. Interesting
Hot
take.
take.
Hot take.
Hot take of the week.
I thought 2013 was done so well. It did everything that the original could have done.
Yeah. That's absolutely fair. Yeah.
It's Evil Dead with money.
Yeah,
and budget, higher
essentially.
budget.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
Well,
yeah.
well, technically,
Anyway.
Evil Dead 2 is Evil Dead 1 with a budget.
Yeah.
It's
very
just a
true.
full remake,
Yeah.
even though they call it 2. But
Yeah.
I would probably put 2 as one of my lowest. I don't think you need 2 in the universe to really impact
two's
anything.
my favorite,
Ooh. Okay.
my number 1
That's
of
your number
all of
one.
them.
It's number 2.
The only redeeming factor 2 has is we get the chainsaw arm.
Yeah.
Groovy.
And
That's
Ash's and the Ash character is like fully realized. Those like one-liners and shit.
He's not as much of a pussy in 2 as he is in 1.
Yeah.
In 1,
Yeah.
he's like so scared until the very, very, very end.
Yeah.
And guys, that is this episode. Let's spin the wheel.
That's it. All right, we're
That's it.
done.
That's it.
We haven't
right.
even asked me what I've watched lately.
Yeah, Shelly,
Roger took over my.
I
You
know.
guys need to stay on track.
you got Leapfrog. So, Shelly, what else? I know we went to the theaters and stuff, but what else have you been watching or anything scary happen?
Well, we had our camp weekend, and during that weekend, we watched Cabin in the Woods. We watched The Craft. We watched something else that I can't remember now, but we did watch Independence Day. I did get Lisa to watch that with us. But then recently there was a new Faces of Death movie that came out on Shudder. So I made my sister watch the original Faces of Death because she's never seen it, and she was very shocked. She thought it'd be more like people dying, but it's a lot of animals dying, and she's like, "I'm not
Oh,
here for
no.
this. This needs to stop."
Did you explain to her that 99% of that's not real in that?
Well,
It's all
most of it's not
staged?
real. Yeah,
There's only one real death in that entire video.
but like the thing of the original Faces of Death is the horror of it. Is it real?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
it
yeah.
not? That's so. We went into it in that essence. That's how I kind of presented it to her. I'm like, that's for you to decide. Is it real or not?
As a young, if you watch it as a young kid, you're like, oh my god, it's like a snuff
Yeah.
film.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they came out with a new Faces of Death movie where essentially a serial killer-esque character who's actually played by the Max Brothers character from Stranger Things,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
the lifeguard guy. I can't think of the actor's name right now. So
Something
he's in it.
Montgomery?
He looks really weird, completely different. Like I kept on thinking he looked familiar. But his character is this killer that has found the original Faces of Death film and has decided to remake the kills, but with like real people. And so, like the monkey scene from the original Faces of Death, instead of a monkey, he puts a person in the box, and there's like these mannequins bashing the person's head in. So the premise of the new movie is a girl works for this YouTube-esque company that she reviews flagged videos to decide if they are like good to stay on the internet or not. And she starts finding these kill videos and what ensues from there. It was actually not bad. And we watched Mortuary Assistant. If I had to put it up against Mortuary Assistant, I would pick the new Faces of Death film. It was actually a lot better. So I think that might have been it. But I've been in rehearsals a lot. I am in kind of a scary-esque show right now called the Spoon
Yes.
River Anthology, The Voices from Beyond the Dead, something like that. So if you're local to the Clearwater area, it is going to be at a theater called Theater 4 off of Highland Avenue. And it's the last weekend in July. So it's like the 31st, 1st, and 2nd. And then it's the second weekend in August. So get your tickets. Theater 4. It's Theatra 4. That's how the proper way you spell theater. With the
We're-
R-E at
Okay.
the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
We got our tickets. We're coming August 2nd.
Oh yay!
Nice.
I don't.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if I was supposed to say that or not. Unless that's supposed to be a surprise.
No, I
But-
talked to Lisa last night. She said Lisa said she got tickets. I didn't know you were coming with her, but
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm always supportive when I'm free and have time and when you guys do stuff.
when it fits into your schedule, you'll be supportive.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I have weekends off now, so I
Yeah.
can do these
You do.
things. And I don't have a bowling tournament that day. That's the following week, so it works
I
out.
think one time you were trying to come, but then you got like deathly ill.
I did.
so you
I got really
couldn't
sick.
for one of the shows.
Yeah, that I forget which one that was. That was the
Ugh.
first. That would have been the first one I would have come to. Yeah, I got sick. I was not in good
Yeah.
shape.
I think that's it. for lately.
Awesome. Well, it was great catching up with everyone. Yes, if you are local, do go out and check out Shelly's play and support local theater and support Shelly. So, with that, I think we're ready to get into The Evil Dead. You guys ready? I'm looking at you, Roger. This is your part.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I am ready.
All right. So, first segment is Dig Up the Bones. And that's where Roger introduces the movie we watched and gives a brief summary. So, Roger, take it away.
Let me open up my book real quick. All right.
It's showing. Good job. I can see it.
Yes, I tested this before we started to
You
make
guys
sure
are
the
such
distance I
nerds.
needed to be away from the camera and
Just
have a
read the
microphone.
book, Roger.
I'm going to read from the book, so be prepared. The Evil Dead, released October 15th, 1981, with a 7.3 IMDb score, 85% Rotten Tomato, and also 84% audience score. The tagline is, well, there's many of them. I chose my favorite one, was they got up on the wrong side of the grave. Synopsis: Ash Williams, his girlfriend, and three pals hike into the woods to a cabin for a fun night away. There they find an old book, Necronomicon. Text reawakens the dead when it's read aloud. The friends inadvertently release a flood of evil and must fight for their lives or become one of the evil dead. Starring Bruce Campbell, who plays Ash. He's also in Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, and also the television series Burn Notice.
Burn and Notice. That's
Yeah,
a
it
that's
did
a
like
nice
100
shout.
and 100 and plus episodes of that one.
USA
He-
Network.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, I
He
remember.
he talked about it when I was his little assistant for a day. We'll talk about that later. uh, Ellen, also starring Ellen Sandweiss, who plays Cheryl. She was also the rest of the cast really hasn't done much since Evil Dead because they're all kind of like they're all friends with Sam and Bruce, who are all in school together. So they just made this movie together. So they haven't done much, but she was also in Oz the Great and Powerful, directed by Sam Raimi. And they did all three of the women did a TV show called Dangerous Women, and they all played their character like characters. They all had the same character name. So she played
Interesting.
Cheryl in that. It's about like three soccer moms that like solve crimes or shit like that. Lasted 6
Interesting.
episodes. Nothing
Yeah.
to do with Evil Dead. Just that they just have the same character names, which is kind of funny. But it's all three of them.
What a
It's kinda fun.
weird coincidence. That's crazy.
It got a high rating too, so it seems to be pretty good. I might check it out.
A higher rating than the Evil Dead.
It got like a 7.5,
All right.
I think, on IMDb for the show or something like that, or 6.4, somewhere around there. But it's in the realm of it's pretty decent. Richard DeManicore plays Scottie. He was also in Crime Wave and Bong Fly, a short.
Oh, okay. Bong
Uh,
fly.
Bong Fly.
All
I'm
right.
kind of interested to see what that is. Also starring Betsy Barker, Linda, who's also in the show Dangerous Women, and she also did a ton. She's done like a ton of like guest appearances on TV shows, like 1 or 2 episodes, like of everything, like just characters and stuff like that pops in and out. And also Teresa Tilly, who plays Shelly, also in the Oz and Great and Powerful and Dangerous Women as Shelly.
As Shelly, as herself.
Written directed by Sam Raimi.
It was spelled correctly too, just so you all know.
It was.
Sam
Yeah,
Raimi.
I saw that.
Raimi. Sam Raimi. There we go. I got it. Composed by Joe LaDuca. Makeup special effects by Tom Sullivan. Runtime's a crisp 85 minutes, which has been the theme of this podcast this season, is that all the movies are within like 80 something minutes. So short and sweet. Aspect ratio of 1:3:1. So you get the sidebars on the side of your you get the
Are
black
we
bars on the
really
side
doing
of your...
aspect ratios?
Yes, I'm trying to teach people. Because people get mad when they see the black bars. I'm trying to explain to them they're there for a reason. So the
There's a
black bars are on
purpose.
the side of this left and right side of the screen on this one.
Yep.
It was shot in like 16 millimeter, so that's the reason why.
Yeah.
Budget 350,000 estimated. A gross worldwide plus domestic of 2.9 million. And I have 2 quick critic reviews of both sides of the spectrum here.
Ooh, yes.
So one critic said it gave it 8 out of 10. Said even with the jaded eyes of someone that grew up on the films influenced by Raimi's directorial debut, it still is impressively violent, visceral, and darkly funny. And this guy who doesn't like the movie said,
Ooh.
"A child with a king-size bottle of ketchup, Derek. I wrote that. I chose this one simply for you.
Yes. Yeah, that's mine.
And a spark of imagination could do better."
Bullshit.
Also, there's also something else in this book that says Kunda. Kunda.
No, don't do it. Don't. We can't. It's too early.
Kunda.
Oh shit.
Yeah, fuck now.
You have wakened me from my slumber.
Join us. Join us, Derek.
Do you have anything else, or is that it?
That is digging up the bones. Also, Sam Raimi showed me where the bathroom was during that Spooky Empire. So, also a fun little story.
Yay. Well, thank you to Sam
Mhm.
Raimi for letting Roger know
Yes.
where the restroom is.
Well, I had to find Bruce Campbell's rings that he lost.
All right. So, thank you, Roger, for digging up the bones.
Dug them up for you, baby.
Thank you. You dug so well. So, before we jump into the film, I just want to get all of our initial reactions to landing on it. I'll jump in first. So, this was my movie I put on the wheel. I saw this film for the first time when I was in college, and it's just at the time when I was thirsting for more horror films. I kind of got over being scared of them from when I was a kid, and I had a buddy that had one of those CD booklets, and it was full of the Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness. I think he had like Killer Clowns, but I watched them, and when I saw the original, it was like the first time that I saw like a horror movie that was scary, but also really fun, and like a lot of like physical, like almost comedy stuff going on. And it kind of informed my taste of what type of horror I was going to get into and was going to start searching for. So this was a big movie for me. And I've been waiting forever to put it on the podcast, and I couldn't wait any longer. So here we are. So that's my initial reaction. Shelly, how about you? Initial reaction?
I watched it much later in life for the first time, probably like in my 30s,
Mm.
but yeah, it doesn't have the same impact as maybe it had a younger person. But
Nice. All right, Roger, how about you?
Evil Dead. Well, the original. I saw. Remembering seeing 2 before I ever saw the original. So when you go back, and I remember my sisters watching it when I was really young, but I didn't know what it was, and I didn't pay attention. This thing was rated NC-17. It never. I think it still is. Yeah, not rated, and so it's not for children's eyes. But I watched 2 as a teenager and loved it. Then I went back and watched this one, and I'm like, it's the same fucking movie. I'm so confused. And I had to look up why, and the original is, it's a little, it's not as campy as the other ones. It's like, it starts off, it's more serious, where they go into camp later on, for the second one and beyond. But no, I've always enjoyed the original. I think there's a lot of good things in it. It's you can tell it's lower budget, but like, a bunch of friends just went in the woods and made a movie, and they came out this, and it just blew up, became a franchise. And it's really good. And there's a lot of good scares, behind me there, the Deadites, before they were called Deadites, they got the white eyes and shit, and that stuff always freaks me out. With like when you just see pure white, the pure white eyes, and that's always scared me as a kid. But growing up, but I've always loved Evil Dead, the whole series, all the way up to the modern ones. So always excited when we get to do one. So
Yeah.
and also watched it in style on my 4K
I knew you were gonna
Blu-ray
show it. I knew
with
it.
slipcover. What?
The slipcover with the same exact picture. Nothing
Same
different.
exact, but I guess the slipcover on this one is hard to get. So I was told, so that's exciting. I got it right when they released it, so
Okay.
I always picked that up. I got the entire series on 4K.
Well, congratulations.
You're welcome. Yeah, but watching a 4K versus like a VHS, you can see, you can really see the
imperfections.
the imperfections show up everywhere. So but other than that, it's fun. It's Evil Dead. You know what you're getting. You're not gonna be disappointed. There's not a bad Evil Dead movie. Like there's nothing like it's like, oh fuck, that sucks.
Yeah.
You're gonna have the ones you love, the ones you don't. But It's a good time.
Great time. All right. So with that, let's jump into Feasting Fiends. And this is where we discuss the topics of pros, cons, characters, dialogue, and our favorite kills / scares. Shelly, why don't you kick us off with pro?
Well, why don't you kick us off? It's your movie.
All right.
Just because you're hosting doesn't
I
mean you
kn-
can't go first.
I know. So sit back.
I'll do
relax.
sloppy I'll do sloppy seconds.
Okay.
Okay.
So I love the production overall of this film. The setting is perfect. The cabin is iconic in the woods. The effects that they do in this is, to me, second to none. I mean, the possessed look amazing, from the hand when Shelley is scribbling in the book. Not Shelley, Cheryl. She's scribbling in the book, all the way to like Shelley, where she's, her face is on fire and she's like charred and demonic. It looks all amazing. And I know it's like a lot of all hands on deck situation with the effects, because they were doing stuff on site in the cabin. But minus that, the guys that were in charge of the effects was Tom Sullivan and Bart Pierce. And I just want to give a shout out to them, because I think a lot of the work that they did on this film is still better than some of the work that we see in like modern times with some of the practical effects. So it just, to me, it stands the test of time, and I still think it looks shocking and it leaves a lasting effect. So also with the production, I think the lighting is really good for a place that they're out in the woods, they're out secluded. It feels dark, it feels secluded, but they still, like, the way the light will shine in the woods will highlight like what's important, but it will still leave like the darkness around it to make us feel that woods feel. And I just think they did a really good job. And then camera work. I know Sam Raimi is known for all like the trick shots and like the weird angles, Dutch angles, whatever you want to call it. But some of the moments that I would like to highlight with the camera work was when Scottie was chopping up Shelley, and there was like blood spurting onto the camera, and eventually got completely covered in blood red, and he's just swinging away, and it's just like in this blood red tint, and it just looks amazing. And I love that shot. And another shot, which is another like POV shot that I thought was really cool and great camera work, was when Scottie was getting attacked from Shelley, and she was trying to like push him into the fire, like by his neck. And the POV was from like inside the fire, and the flames were right there. And then Scottie was in the background, like being pushed in. It was really cool looking. And I think, we would see it many, many movies after this, all the work that I guess Sam's vision, and they really pulled it off well in this. And then the final thing I'll say that I love about this film is the demonic groaning noises that is like the entity out in the woods. It sounded like, it's like some parts of it sounded like it was like performed by a didgeridoo, which was super interesting to me. And in my head, it was funny every time it came up. But there were two moments that were actually kind of comical to me. And one of them was when it was looking in the window, like looking at everyone in the beginning, and it got to, I think it was Linda and Scottie's room, and Linda just took her shirt off, and it was like, wow.
Side boob alert.
Yeah.
Do you timestamp that for the viewers?
I will have to do
So
that.
they can pause
post.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Wear out that VHS, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it was funny that it reacted to some boobies, and it was like, wow. And then the other time it made like a noise was when Cheryl had just escaped the attack in the woods, and she was running inside, and Ash just opened the door, and she rushed inside, and they slammed the door in its face as it was approaching her, and it let out this like groaning and dejected like, oh. And I just thought the demonic groaning in the woods was pretty funny and a good touch. So yeah, without me talking for 2 hours, those are some of my biggest cons for the Evil Dead.
Cons?
Like, yeah,
You
I'm
did both
sorry,
pros and
pros.
cons?
I
That's what I
said
said. I was
cons. I
like,
did
damn,
say.
he really hated everything about this movie. Fuck.
Those are my pros. But
I
yeah,
hated all the technical achievements.
I hated the camera work. I hated everything that Sam Raimi would be known for. So yeah, those are my pros. Who would like to jump in next with their pros? Anybody?
Yes.
Okay.
So wardrobe wise, I liked the corduroy pants that she wore because I used to wear them. So it brought back some memories watching this movie. And also I like the Book of the Dead, the
Oh, it looks
Pro,
so good.
Necronomicon,
Yeah.
which pops up in the series from time to time. Always been a fan of the book and the way it looks and bound in human flesh and written in human blood. So it's always a really cool thing when it pops in, and it's used in going back to what we H.P. Lovecraft. It's
Yeah.
from that where it's first ever mentioned. So he took it from H.P. Lovecraft stories and wrote the Evil Dead with it. So it's pretty
I know
cool.
who would have thought that the unnameable could be tied to
Mhm.
the Evil Dead. I know.
Correct.
And we
Well,
did
it
them
is
back to back.
Well, Unnameable 2 is very similar. Some similar things that happens in like the Evil Dead, like Evil Dead 2, like with the trees and stuff like, or even this one with the trees.
Yeah.
So all cool. But that's it. That's my
Okay.
pros.
Awesome. Shelly, how about you? What do you get? What's pros do you have for the Evil Dead?
My pros were that it is quintessential campy horror. I mean, you've got a cabin in the woods, you've got corny lines and some blood and guts. Can't go wrong with that. It's a great movie to watch during the summer and
Yeah.
celebrate Summerween. Um, I think for its time, the makeup was really fun, and you gotta love practical things like using oatmeal oozing out to
It was so gross.
represent the guts.
Yeah.
And I think the sound was great. I think they really utilized sound in a way that added to the horror aspect of the movie. Just when a dead date was approaching or they were battling Cheryl, I think that helps amp the horror up of this movie because some of it, was lacking. But I think by adding the sounds that they did, um, really gave it another uh, tick up to
Yeah.
help with that horror aspect.
Oh yeah. Absolutely agree.
So those are my pros.
Awesome. All right. Well, I will keep the cycle going and I'll come with my cons. Uh
They're curious at your cons.
don't don't you dare. It's called editing. I'll fix it. So yeah, for my cons for the film, uh obviously there's some continuity issues. There's a couple shots, like I know in the beginning when Scottie's driving down the road and he's talking, they almost hit that truck and he's talking about the only thing that works is the horn in this thing, and he beeps the horn, and there's those fishermen on the side of the road, and as the car is driving past, the window's like completely up, but cuts to him and he's hanging out the window yelling at the guys.
Derek, I'm not going to blame the car though because I have something similar under my con. What was he holding and drinking
Oh,
when he was
the
driving?
jar of water as well.
Oh, it wasn't just that's they're in Tennessee, baby. That's moonshine.
Oh, you think it's moonshine?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's why
Okay.
it comes in those jars.
Yeah, it does. I've
The
got
fruit, the scotch
I've had
jars.
some before, but yes. But yeah, so like that, and then the one scene where Ash is getting he just decapitates Linda, and he's got like blood all over his face. And then he comes back in the cabin, and there's barely like a speck of red on him. So just some continuity issues that like kind of take you out from like the scene transitions that were just a little off. And then with the tree attack scene on Cheryl, I was good up until the very last part where there was the final stab from the tree that came in. It was just, I think, a little bit too much. We already kind of saw what was going on in that scene, but I think they did one too many. And I know that Sam has expressed regret for it later and said it was too grotesque and he wishes that he didn't do it. So it's good to see that he's kind of come around on it, but ultimately it's still there for us all to see. And I think it was just like a moment one too much in there. But yeah, those are my cons in it. Roger Ite, how about you? Roger Deadite. How
I
about you?
wrote con the drinking and driving that you alluded to there.
Yeah.
Never a good thing. Also, with the wardrobe, I'm not a fan of turtlenecks whenever I see them.
Oh, too itchy.
Yeah, I don't like wearing them. It's kind of just covers up too much, even up your neck. It just looks uncomfortable. So I was like, oh god, turtlenecks. But I know like they're supposed to be like the middle of like winter, I guess, or cold because they're all like kind of dressed
It
like
was
kind of heavy.
definitely fall. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, so it's
buckle
like
up.
I understand it, but it's just like it's not something I would grab on my camping gear and go to the woods in. I'm gonna agree with you, Derek. I wrote the rapey nature
Yeah.
Literally the rape, a little rapey in this one, with the trees and the defiling of the care of what was which one was that?
Cheryl, yeah.
Cheryl out in the woods. Also, never a good thing to read from a book that's also bound in human flesh and written in human blood, because nothing that you find in the basement and nothing ever good comes from that.
Never.
But more, they played the mysterious tape that was reading the words that caused the possession.
Yeah.
So never a good thing. So if you're ever renting a cabin and you come across mysterious tapes, a book, don't play it, don't read from it.
Yeah.
Especially from the basement, nothing good happens from that.
Called a real dumb
And
move.
yes, yes. So that is it for me.
Nice. All right, Shelly, how about you? Your cons.
I think The Evil Dead itself lacks in storytelling. They do have the recorder that kind of gives us some of the information on what might be going on, but we don't know a lot about this group of teenagers, why they're going out in the woods. That's where I think, like, I don't want to use the 2013 as an example, but I think they added the storytelling that this one needed. And on that is another con, just to touch. I know we're talking specifically about Evil Dead 1981. So I'm not going to like go into the other movies or any other ones that I might like better. But I think if you didn't have the Evil Dead franchise that they've built to this day, and you just had this movie, I don't think it stands alone as well as it would without the others. So that to me is like when the first movie, like think of like the first time you saw Nightmare on Elm Street. Like that movie could stand alone without, they actually don't probably need as many sequels. But like Evil Dead and even Friday the 13th Part 1, I put in this category that like they're not the best first movie of a franchise. So that's definitely a con for me. And then just additionally, I think the acting is really, 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 really bad.
Yeah. That's what you get when you're friends with people and you need them to fill in, right?
I mean, even to this day, I don't think
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell is the best actor who ever walked this earth. So
He's got those dramatic looks.
that's probably all he has.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So let's jump into characters. I'll keep the cycle going. It was hard to pick out one because I really did enjoy Cheryl, Linda, and Shelley as the possessed characters. But if I had to crown a favorite, it would be possessed Cheryl. And we just because we got her the longest, and she was like tormenting everyone and popping up. I mean, she's right behind Roger. If you guys are watching on YouTube, she's poking out right there, and Roger's picking her nose. But yeah, she was just we got her full demonic personality, and I just loved every bit of her. I guess if I had to give a worst character, it would go to Scottie, just because he threatens his girlfriend in the beginning. I don't know if it's one of my lines, but he threatens her in the beginning in front of everyone. Very awkward. He recklessly points a gun at Ash in the basement. And then when things get hairy, he says he doesn't care about Linda, and he leaves Ash to fend for himself. So he's a terrible friend. And that's my thought on favorite and least favorite characters. Roger, how about you?
Well, characters I wrote Scotty as he's such a prankster.
Oh yeah,
Impossible sociopath, pointing the gun at Ash. I agree with you.
yes,
When I try to make some jokes and make my friends laugh, I usually point firearms at them. Like and Ash in this one, like I was saying earlier, he's not like Ash from Evil Dead 2 and beyond. He's kind of like more scared and kind of like not the mighty Ash. He comes into it a little bit at the end of this one.
yeah,
But throughout the most movie, he's kind of just really, really like scared and can't handle, trying to grasp situation, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And until he ends up taking charge and becoming the Ash that we all know towards the end of this one. Versus Evil Dead 2, where he's more like,
yeah,
the Ash from the start to finish. In the girls, when they become Deadites, are all great. I think they all rock. They do a great job being a Deadite, especially this being the first movie that kind of sets a precedent of how they how they are and the toying of they toy with Ash and Scotty and try to break them down psychologically and physically, so they eventually can possibly get possessed. Because I remember Lisa and I talked about this during Evil Dead Burn. Is how does possession work?
Yeah.
Like how does it go from person to person? Like you read from the book, one person gets possessed, but how does it go from person to person about the book? And she was saying, well, it's more like when they get like cut or it's kind of like an infection.
Mm.
I
Yeah, but I feel
argue,
like didn't Grandma get it from the spit?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's where Elisa's argument is more like an infection, where like spit cuts, like like if like you're sick and you scratch me, then I can catch like what you had, right? It's like kind of like that same thing. It's kind of like almost like a disease. But I argue like it possible too is that also they need to break you down mentally, because you could have such a strong will that you can, regardless if you're
Oh yeah.
you get cut or infected, that it still can't possess you 100% because you're mentally strong. And like in a lot of the Evil Dead movies, these Deadites toy you. They don't come at you right away and just try to kill you and all that. They break you. They try to break you
Yeah.
mentally, physically, until you're weak. Then they possess you. And that's what I think they're doing here in a lot of the movie, is that they're just trying to break these characters down. So and eventually Scotty comes in raggedy, bloody, torn up, and eventually he gets possessed.
Yeah.
But Bruce or Ash never does in this movie, and even though he's getting scratched, cut, torn, getting the shit kicked out of him by the girls and Scotty eventually, is that he never gets possessed because
Yeah.
he's always he becomes mentally strong by the end of the movie, and he becomes our hero. So that's how I always took Evil Dead. If that's correct or not correct, how the Deadites work, and why some get possessed and some don't.
I think that's a good theory.
Yeah.
I think the possession stuff is like wide open many different ways. But yeah, I like that theory. Shelly, how about you? What do you got for characters?
I really liked Cheryl. I think all around, um, her being like the first one that gets possessed, and like everything she does down in the cellar is very classic to the whole Evil Dead franchise. I mean, from the remake to like even Evil Dead the musical, they always use Cheryl in the cellar. I mean, that's like you see that and you recognize it's
Yeah.
for Evil Dead. I could leave most of the other characters from this movie, and
Mm-hmm.
I think Ash is okay. I think he becomes more of like your main protagonist as the series goes on, but like in this movie, as Roger has mentioned, like he's kind of a wimpy baby poo poo. So um,
Very much so. Yeah.
he's not like the hero you want.
Mm-mm.
But
Yeah.
that's my thoughts.
Awesome.
He was just trying to bring his girl to a nice weekend outing
Yeah.
and go
I know, but they
go.
don't even really openly like say
Yeah.
that.
I
They
know.
never
No
like
one's.
explain
You
that to us.
you think it's an engagement ring in that box because
I
you don't really
know.
see it in the beginning. Then it takes out just a necklace. I'm like, what is he going steady? It's like, here's
Yeah,
my pin.
I don't
You know,
know. We really know?
No, no one has like established roles with each other. We just make assumptions until, then it's like it becomes
Yeah.
obvious through the action. Yeah.
Scotty's dating his sister, and then the other then Shelly is just a third like a third wheel, and like
Wow,
I'm like
a third wheel.
is
Funny
like
how that works.
is like, why are you there for the weekend? Like these two couples, and like all of a sudden you like tag along.
Yeah.
It's kind of like there's no one there for you.
It's
It's like what are you doing? What are you doing?
yeah,
Unless they just felt bad for her because she
Leave
didn't have
Shelly's
anybody.
alone. They
yeah.
just have a hard time.
But she can draw though. She can doodle. She's
Oh,
good at good
that's
doodling.
Cheryl.
Oh,
Cheryl's
that's
the one
Cheryl. Never
yeah,
mind. Never
Cheryl's.
mind.
Are you talking about Cheryl then this whole time?
No. I was
Okay.
talking about
With the
the
doodle, yeah.
Shelly one. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Cheryl's dating Scotty. That's Ash's sister, and Linda is Ash's girlfriend.
Yes.
Shelly is the one that becomes without a bow,
A
a
bow.
suitor, or doesn't bring a
Mhm.
suitor.
No,
For a weekend
that is Cheryl.
is it?
Yeah, Cheryl is Ash's sister that gets attacked in
Yeah,
the
that's what I
woods.
said. I said Cheryl.
Oh,
Oh, I
I
thought
thought you said
Cheryl and
Shelley.
Scotty were together. Is it Scotty and Shelly together?
Yeah, Scotty and
Oh, okay.
Shelley.
All right, that's where I'm
She's
confused.
sitting
Okay,
in the front seat singing in the beginning with
okay.
him. Yeah,
All right, so Cheryl is the lonely one. Okay, so
there it
yes,
is.
there we go. I'm less confused now.
That's confused
So
now. All right. Let's move on into dialogue. I'll go first. I grabbed the one of the tape that they played. This was a researcher, and it was the reel-to-reel tape they played. But I loved that monologue. It gave us a little bit of lore. So it was, I believe I made a significant find in the Kandarian ruins, a volume of ancient Sumerian burial practices and funerary incantations. It's entitled Nocturum de Montum, roughly translated, Book of the Dead. The book is bound in human flesh and inked in human blood. It deals with demons and demon resurrection and those forces which roam the forest and dark bowers of man's domain. And I love that part. It's the beginning of everything we love about the series. And like I said, it gives us a little bit of lore. And what better line than made of human flesh and inked in blood? It's badass. And I love that. I love the tape. So yeah, that's my favorite dialogue. Roger, how about you?
Well, you took one of mine. I
Oh,
just
okay.
I just well the part where it says the book bound in human flesh part I just wrote it quick. I didn't write the whole paragraph that you just said, but but I like when Scotty throws the one on the fire and she's burning and he takes it out and she does in her voice. She's like,
I don't know what I would have done if I would have remained on those hot coals burning my pretty flesh.
so. I always like the Deadites. Their dialogue I always think is the best, no matter like what Evil Dead you're moving, because they're just always just making fun and just shooting the shit of what you're doing to them and all that, just
Yes.
making and just throwing it right back in your face. And with just the simple join us, and you just hear it throughout the movie, even in the backgrounds. You can just slightly hear the join us constantly going on.
Yeah, you hear it
yeah,
from like the outside
and
evil
well, yeah, I
entity,
almost think
and then the deadites themselves. Yeah.
I almost think that it's not even a thing where like I'm not sure if this is true or not, but like I didn't look it up. I'm just thinking of the top of my head right now is that it's not even that it's they can hear it outside. I think we're hearing it inside the characters' heads. Like it's them saying, "Join us," like "Let us possess you," like constantly, and that's what they hear is "Join us, join
Yeah.
us, join us." So it's not even like it's the entity outside or anything like that. Just saying it constantly. It's just what they're hearing in their heads and trying to for them to be possessed and for them to win. And my last one is Scotty, you're going to die. You'll see. Simple thing, simple deadite,
Simple deadite.
things
Just
I like
deadite
to
lines. Yeah.
just deadite lines. That's
It's-
always my favorite in
Yeah.
any of these movies. I'm sure if we did Evil Dead 2, it'd be Bruce Campbell one liners all day long. But
Yeah. A lot of the ones that we know Bruce for or Ash for all comes from Evil Dead 2 and Army of
yeah,
Darkness.
there's
So,
like
yeah.
no one liners in this one at all.
Yeah,
This is
none at all.
the more serious Evil
It
Dead.
is.
In the what I said earlier, Kanda. So from the tape,
A bit of the Latin or whatever it was from the tape.
yeah, that brings the evil forces and unleashes them to our unexpecting people here. And you just gotta be careful when you do your Airbnb. That's all I'm
Do you
saying.
do? You gotta check the you gotta check the reviews, man. Let me tell you. All right, Shelly, how about you? Dialogue. Anything you liked?
Yeah, I mean, I had the voice on the recorder, but I had the part where it says, I know now that my wife has become host to a Kandarian demon. I fear that the only way to stop those possessed by the spirits of the book is through the act of bodily dismemberment.
And boy, oh boy, did we get that.
Yes, we did. Good old Kandarian dagger.
We got quite a bit of it, but yeah, that altogether that tape, whatever part they played of it, even the part with the Latin where it summoned everything, it was such a great piece of dialogue in this film. So awesome.
I'm gonna find one of those recorders.
Oh, the reel to reel.
Yeah, well, yeah, like it's a model. They're probably so expensive now because of the Evil Dead movies, but I've always wanted one.
Yeah.
I went to an Evil Dead, like they did like an Evil Dead in Savannah, and they had an Evil Dead room, and they had like in the actual model with the recording from the movie.
Yeah.
Not the actual one, but just like a repurposed one, and it looked so cool. I was like, oh, God, I want that for my collection.
Yeah.
One day,
Awesome.
one day,
One day you can hope and pray. But yeah, all right. So let's move on into our favorite kills and or scares. I'm gonna go again. I'm giving this as a kill because she ultimately gets there, but Linda's whole demise into her possession and ultimate death is my favorite because the stabbing of her ankle with the pencil was our first scene where we got some like nasty gore, and it was a great appetizer for what was to follow. And then later when Ash like goes to check on her and he lifts up the blanket and we get that cool stop motion moment where like the wound's spreading and like spidering up her leg, and it looked amazing. And then finally her beheading by Ash is just a fun moment. She goes leaping through the air and he swings the shovel, taking off her head, and then there's an explosion of blood into his face. And I thought it was just the cherry on top for her. She had an awesome demise altogether. So my favorite kill went to Linda. Roger, how about you?
I like when Scottie's chopping up his girlfriend into and I even wrote his girlfriend Shelly here.
Yay, there
So
you are.
I even
You
had
got
it,
her name
I even
right.
had it correct. I just didn't look down my paper all the way. I just confused myself during the podcast. But yeah, chopping her up into little bits and pieces I thought was pretty neat. Really overall, there's not that too many kills other than you know.
It's because
Well,
people
there's only
won't
like
die.
5 characters, yeah. So yeah, people don't really die. But you know,
Yeah.
I love the one in the basement behind me. Like Cheryl,
Yeah.
make sure I get
Good
it
job.
right. Which is then replaced by Henrietta and two. But it was like that character in the basement with the head popping out, the darkness, and just spooking the rest, and just let her out, and she just wants to,
Yep.
just has those eyes, and always scared me, especially in 1 and 2. So it's always one of my favorite characters is that
Yep.
basement deadite.
Yeah, she's
The chain
terrifying.
chain there, and
Terrifying.
I wrote something else, but I can't read it because I wrote it kind of
Because
scribbly.
that's
So
what you
it's
do.
yes, it's another edition of Roger can't read his own handwriting. It begins with a P, so I don't know if I wrote something with a P on a while. I don't know what that means, but it's nothing scary that happened in the movie
Scribbles.
that I liked.
Yeah,
So it
yeah.
might be the pencil. Oh,
Oh,
pencil in the ankle. That's what it is.
yeah,
Pencil in
right.
the ankle.
I mean, I in that moment, I was expecting her to attack Ash.
Hmm.
So the fact that she, took a right and then stabbed Linda in the ankle is just surprising. So,
Hmm. It has to hurt.
yeah, it does. She's definitely had lead poisoning. I mean, we could see that.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
before probably graphite. This is 1981. This is probably pure
That's right.
lead, baby, number 2.
Pure lead number 2. That's right. All right, Shelly, how about you? Favorite killer scares?
Um, I like the whole progress of Cheryl and everything that she goes through as any kind
Oh
of
yeah,
like scary part of this movie. No specific kills, but from the rape scene, which is kind of shocking to begin with, the tree rape,
yeah,
and then Cheryl transitioning into a deadite and everything that happens there, and them pushing her into the cellar. I thought Cheryl's whole character arc is probably one of the better scary parts of the movies. So, or the movie,
yeah.
but yeah.
No, absolutely. She is the scariest thing in this film, no doubt. So her and the darkness. That's about it.
You got to bring a bottle of Roundup with you when you go out there hiking, just in case. Instead of mace, just bring Roundup, and you're set.
Just round up, yeah.
Kill them trees.
All right, so let's move on into final cut. And this is where I reveal the shocking ending of the film, and we discuss and give our ratings of 1 to 5 stabs. 1 stab, no redeeming value. 2 stabs, bad. 3 stabs, mediocre. 4 stabs, good. 5 stabs, masterpiece. With all of his friends dead or possessed, Ash starts spiraling and losing his mind. He goes to shoot Linda, but she reverts back to her old self, asking Ash for help at the same time that Cheryl, now sounding normal, asks to be let out of the cellar. As he bends down to help, Cheryl punches through the ground, grabbing his face, and Linda starts taunting him. So Ash drags her outside. Back inside, he tends to his clearly deceased friend Scottie and talks about going home. Linda shows up with a long dagger and stabs Ash's arm. The two wrestle, with Ash eventually pushing her over and impaling her on the dagger. Taking her to the shed, Ash attempts to complete the dismemberment of her body, but he can't when he sees the necklace he gifted her. Stupidly, he takes her outside to bury her. After completing the job, he sees the necklace on the ground. And when he goes to grab it, Linda punches her hand out of the grave and attacks him. While leaping in the air towards him, he grabs a shovel and decapitates his love, and her blood blows all over his face. When he gets back inside the cabin, the cellar door is open and he goes searching for Cheryl. She attacks him from a window, so he gives her a shotgun blast to the face. Realizing he needs more ammo, he goes to the basement. Seeing a pipe wrapped up and bloody, Ash inspects it and gets a face full of blood, while the cabin starts acting up and playing old-timey show tunes. Things are getting very silly in the cabin. Soon, Cheryl punches through the door at Ash, screaming for him to join us. Then, boom, another shotgun blast to the head for her. She retreats, but possessed Scottie pops up and attacks him. So Ash gouges out his eyes with his thumb and pulls a stick out of his leg, causing a torrential amount of blood to pour out. Cheryl bursts back into the cabin, and while Scottie is pulling Ash by his legs, keeping him from the Necronomicon, Cheryl bashes him in the back with a fire poker. With the use of the necklace that Ash gifted to Linda, Ash lassos the book and tosses it into the fire, destroying both Scottie and Cheryl once and for all. The sun rises as Ash walks outside to the beautiful, triumphant music. But we get another POV camera shot of the evil force in the woods, and it rushes through the cabin and attacks Ash. The end. How did we feel about the ending? Roger, I'll go to you first. How'd you feel about the ending?
I liked it. Well, yeah, because it's even if you destroy the book, it doesn't, doesn't really mean nothing. It's still there. Then when you go into Evil Dead 2, the ending, it doesn't matter because it's just you just remake it and it's a little different. But at this time you don't know if you're making a sequel or whatnot, and you don't know if it's gonna be a big hit. This is just something they wanted to do, and they did it, and became a huge a cult classic and underground hit at first. And no, I liked it. It ends good. Kind of open ended. Ash, all that fighting, he still probably gets it and gets possessed in the end.
Yeah, I know. He
and
still gets it.
Evil wins out there in the woods, in the cabin in the woods. But yeah, good time. But yeah, that final shot's awesome when it just like
Yeah,
and just right into his mouth.
well, I know I was watching some sort of interview with Bruce Campbell, and he said if you're looking for continuity and you need a way to tie the first one in to Evil Dead 2, he said in the end when the evil force busts through and it zooms in on him, he said cut out, I think it's like the first 7 or 8 minutes of the second one to where he is being thrown through the woods and he's like spinning around and then gets tossed in the water. He said if you just cut out the first 7 to 8 minutes of the second one and go directly to that part, he said it's a direct continuation. So I thought that was interesting. But yeah, so overall, I like the ending. It was full of blood and guts. The burning of the book, like you said, made sense. And even in the tape, it said those enduring creatures may lie dormant, but they're never truly dead. So, just because you burn the book doesn't mean anything. Like these evil forces are there, they're just dormant. So we saw that at the end of the film, and I loved all the action of it. So yeah, I love the ending of the film.
It's one of many books. It's not just one
Yeah.
Book of the Dead.
Yes,
as
exactly.
they've shown throughout the series.
Throughout
and
it, yeah.
in the new ones, there's
Yep.
many.
All right, Shelly, how about you? How'd you feel about the ending of The Evil Dead?
It was okay. Again, and you guys have said it, it felt like unfinished, and I know they connected it with Evil Dead 2, so like they got there, and I'm not mad about that. It's just, and plus when I first watched these, all the movies existed, so like you couldn't really be so upset. But I can't imagine going to a theater when this movie originally came out and like that was the ending they presented with you, that kind of like you just watched this like 80s movie that's a banger, and then it's like, oh, that's it. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Awesome. All right, well, let's give it our stabs. I'm going to go first. Any and all the things that I found, wrong with this film pale in comparison to its accomplishments and feats. I talked about all the production stuff I loved. I loved the characters. And this is an indie movie with a ton of personality. And they went on to make a universe, and I'm not letting that come into my stab, but it spawned such an amazing thing. But within this film itself, it started creating this universe, and it was fantastic. I love this film. It's a 5 stab for me. Roger, how about you? Stabs.
I give this one 4.5 stabs.
4.5 stabs.
4.5. Because I'm comparing it to Evil Dead 2, and Evil Dead 2 to me is a 5. So this one's 4. And I'm just using the same rating I put on Letterboxd, 4.5.
There you go.
And I'm not taking anything away from it from -1/2 stabs. It's great for what it is, and even just Evil Dead 2 is just the same movie, just done a little bit better. But with certain things for me, it makes it a little bit more enjoyable for me. It's just it always says like, do you like the more serious version of Evil Dead or the more fun, like campier version of Evil Dead? I'm just more on the campier side of it for me, but it's still great. It's a classic. It's cemented its place in horror history, and it's influenced so much since from just what they do in this thing. But yeah, great overall. Highly recommend it. If you haven't watched Ash vs Evil Dead TV series, I highly recommend it, because it just continues it. And kind of closes the story arc on our boy Bruce Campbell and as Ash, pretty good at the end of that one. And that's it.
Nice. All right, Shelly, how about you? Stabs on The Evil Dead.
I'm giving it 2.5 stabs. It's just not one of my favorite movies. I'm not gonna, if I have a catalog of 80s movies, this isn't going to be one of the first ones that I gravitate towards. I do appreciate the makeup. I mean, it's close to a 3. I'm wavering between a 2.5 and a 3. It's not. There's worse movies out there. Matter of fact, that mortuary assistant movie was probably worse than this movie. So again, and it does do things that you want to see, and like I said, it can't be 80s horror movie. And again, to Derek's point, if I was taking the whole universe into consideration, including the remake and the new ones that we're seeing today, as a whole, the Evil Dead universe, I think it is doing amazing things. And Nightmare on Elm Street tried it. I don't think they did it as well. They tried to remake it, not great at all. So
Don't talk about that remake.
Yeah, right. Now they're trying to do it again. I don't know. I'm skeptical. But anyway, they did a remake in 2013 that actually worked for the universe. And the reimagining was just amazing. So you looking at the universe as a whole, I think Evil Dead it's doing really good things. It's really pushing the horror threshold with, gore and the things they do in these movies, compared to other universes. But looking at the 1981 Evil Dead movie standing alone, it's just, again, not one of my favorites. So I'm kind of between a 2.5 and a 3. I'm wavering. It's mid in my book. I guess that would make it more of a 3. So
yeah, absolutely. That's an appropriate score for about a mid movie. So yeah. Awesome. Well, let's move on into Voices from Beyond. And this is where Shelly goes through our social media platforms and shares your guys' thoughts. So Shelly, take it away.
All right. So Voices from Beyond. Thanks as always for leaving your comments for us. We do enjoy having you all follow along and review these movies. So first we've got Matt F. Well, the wheel has done it this time. Enter The Evil Dead, quite possibly the all-time worst movie ever made. My head was shaking as I had to rewatch for maybe the 30th time.
Oh no.
I wouldn't have watched it if it wasn't for Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, and an entire legion of demonic forces. 5 college students stuck in a cabin in the woods, great effects and makeup, and the complete joyride of a film from the opening car ride to the end credits. I think Matt F might have changed personalities in the middle.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what just happened?
What happened?
What happened, Matt?
All of that, along with the black-rimmed brown plates that were used at the dinner table that my great Aunt Mabel used to have, makes this, for me, one of the greatest horror films of all time. See how I was shouting there? I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened. I'm laughing at that.
5 Notorium de Montums out of 5. Was only kidding about the worst movie ever. Can't wait until the 31st time I watch this. Oh, you
Oh,
got us, Matt. We were
you
really
did.
confused.
You did. You threw us a curveball. Good Lord.
Quinlan D said The Evil Dead is lauded for so many things: low budget excellence, genre bending, introducing Bruce Campbell to the world. What we don't talk enough about is just how effectively scary it is. Yes, Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness amp up the silliness, but the first film is truly spooky. The pencil in the ankle, the woman in the cellar, and the deer head on the wall are great scares. Imagine being on vacation and you're staying in a cabin in the woods. There's no internet, but there's an old tube TV, a VCR, and some VHS tapes. You toss Evil Dead on thinking it will be some dub 80s horror movie with cheesy effects. I guaranteed it's going to provide scares and maybe even some uneasy sleep. There's yet to be an entry in the franchise I haven't appreciated, and the original deserves to be spoken about as an all-time great. Maybe not as highly as Halloween, but I'd argue better than anything in Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th has ever accomplished. 5 stabs.
Woo.
Brian M. said, I definitely saw Army of Darkness on cable first, but remember having to wait towards the end of high school to rent the original Evil Dead on video because of its NC-17 rating. The film moves along with very little downtime, and there's enough character development to care about them and their relationships. The practical effects still hold up after 45 years, and the Cheryl tree scene is still uncomfortable to watch. Ash is still one of the best characters in the genre, and wishing Bruce Campbell the very best in his cancer journey. 5 stats from the Kandarian Dagger, and early contender to win the season's bracket.
Oh wow, calling a shot already. Jeez.
Lisa R. said, out of all the Evil Dead movies, I actually enjoyed the original quite a bit. I'm a sucker for origin stories, and I like seeing where everything begins before the lore gets bigger and crazier. Watching the Deadites, the Necronomicon, and all the chaos unfold for the first time gives the movie a charm that the sequels can't quite replicate. That said, I wish we got a little more backstory, more of the why. Tell me more about the Necronomicon, where it came from, why the Deadites exist, and what started all of this. I always enjoy horror more than there's a little more mythology to sink my teeth into. The low budget, cheesy acting and practical effects definitely show their age, but honestly, that's a part of its appeal. It feels raw and helped pave the way for so many horror films that came after it. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I honestly think they could have done this one, skipped Evil Dead 2, and while we're at it, skip the fuck out of Army of Darkness. My personal lineup would be the original, the 2013 reboot, and the Evil Dead Rise. Those are the ones that really work for me and feel the strongest as horror movies. 3 out of 5 stabs. Me and Lisa think very similar in that.
Yeah.
That lineup. It's a good lineup. Harry
very,
W.
very well written by Lisa R.
Perfectly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Terry W. said, I give this movie a 3.5 out of 5. I love the camera work and unique shots help build tension. The constant screaming is a bit over the top at times. There's a lot of continuity issues, just small details that are hard to ignore. Overall, good film. Renee B. said, I've always loved this movie. I found it very scary the first time I watched it. I love that it launched so many other things, including Evil Dead the Musical. PJC said it's an amazing movie. Bruce Campbell's book really gets into what it was like to get support for the movie, as well as the challenges of filming. If Chains Could Kill, Confessions of a B-Movie Actor by Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
And then John L. said, The Evil Dead is the mother of all Cabin in the Woods movies and defined the genre rules so perfectly. And that is it. Wraps it up.
Awesome.
I'm saying I have to see the musical. I've never seen it.
It's so good.
I have to catch that one day.
Yeah, me too. I also have not seen it, so that sounds awesome. I'll have
Sit
to
in
check
the
it out.
front row and wear
Oh, yeah.
clothes you don't mind getting bloody in.
Hell yeah. It's like a Gallagher show.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So yeah, like I said, thank you everyone for those voices from beyond. And next up is Loose Ends. And this is a catch-all segment where we talk about fun facts or any lasting thoughts. Roger, do you have any fun facts or lasting thoughts?
Evil Dead rules.
Evil Dead rules.
Evil Dead rules. That's all. That's all I really,
yeah.
really have.
I thought you said you were going to talk about.
Oh yeah, don't you have a
Oh, yeah,
story?
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Oh,
your
yeah,
story.
That's your loose ends.
Bruce. Oh, that's right. That's right. The Bruce Campbell story. So,
Yes.
And in the story, you better include that there's a person who is responsible for.
Shelley sent her sister Sherry to ask me if I wanted to be Bruce Campbell's assistant, essentially, or just kind of follow him around all day, do whatever he asked. On the last day of Spooky Empire many years ago, think it was 2019, 2000, yeah,
Yeah,
2019
yeah,
before
that
COVID.
that was at
And
Tampa, right?
yeah, that was at the
yeah.
Tampa show.
Yeah. I
Because we
remember.
were
And
technically supposed to be at Tampa more, but also the Tampa show layout and cost wasn't great. And 2020 came and it actually allowed us to get out of our contract to be in Tampa. So
so,
that's why we never went back.
so essentially, Bruce and his people said they didn't need an additional help for the weekend, but I guess because their demand was so large Friday and Saturday, they asked for one for Sunday. So they came and they didn't have anybody really available, so they came and got me. And this is when this has only been with Lisa for the first year
Yeah.
or so. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. That sounds great. I'll hang out with Bruce Campbell all day. So I went down and met him in the green room, and I call him Mr. Campbell. He's like, oh no. He called me Bruce. I'm like, okay. And he sat me down, he shook my hand and everything, super nice to me, and he just explained what we're gonna do. And essentially just followed him around all day. And at one point, he went to the bathroom after eating lunch, which I ate lunch. I was able to eat lunch with him too. He gave me his chicken kebabs with a salad that he didn't
Oh,
want. He's like,
nice.
are you eating? Do you have anything to eat? I'm like, no, just whatever snacks are on the table. He's like, do you want the chicken? I'm not gonna eat it. I'm like, yeah, sure. So eating his chicken kebabs, and he was telling me stories about him and Sam growing up in Michigan as kids and stuff. It just didn't ask him. He was just telling me. He asked me what I did for a living, this and that. He's treating me like gold, too. But before all that, he left his rings in the bathroom adjacent to the green room at some point, and he remembered he was about to go on his Q&A. And he's like, Roger, can you go back and see if you can find them? They're like 5 rings. They mean something to me. They're personal as be a big thing. I'm like, yeah. So I run back to the green room because I knew the bathroom was adjacent to it, somewhere by it, the closest one to it. And I go through. There's Sam Raimi and Ted Raimi are eating lunch, and I just nodded my head to him, didn't say anything, and walked through and walked out to the other side. But I was like, fuck, I don't know where the bathroom is. I have no idea. There's like hallways going everywhere. So I go back in the room. They both look up at me. I said, hey, I'm sorry to bother you two. Can you tell me which way the bathroom is? Because Bruce left his rings and he just asked me to go get them. They look at each other. Sam just stands up. He's like, I'll take you. I'm like, oh, okay. So Sam Raimi escorted me to the bathroom and just talking for for a minute or two. And he's like, it's right here. I was like, oh, thank you so much. Shook his hand and he walked away. And the rings weren't there. So I went to Lost and Found. Luckily, someone turned them in, all 5 of them, because
Good
if
Samaritan.
they would have
Nice.
known whose they were, they would have been kept. So
Yeah.
I was like, they're Bruce Campbell's. Can I have them? I'm here to get them for him. So I grabbed them, went back at the very tail end of his Q&A, and I gave it to his main agent, appearance agent, and he gave it to Bruce and said Roger found them, and Bruce was like lit up, was so happy, pat me on the back, gave me a big handshake, ate lunch, and that's why I was able to eat lunch with him and all that, and he just treated me great
Yeah.
all day long. And I got an autograph at the end and all that. And he also I sent a message on Twitter, just hey, thanks Bruce for being great. I had an awesome day being with you. And he actually liked it and responded back. I was like, oh man, that's awesome. And he has like millions of followers, and him just to take the time, just even after the show,
Yeah.
where he has no really requirement to just be nice or just even respond. He responded back to it. It was really nice. So it was a really, really great experience meeting both, and I was able to meet Sam later on again at his table because helping Bruce all day, I wasn't able to get Sam's autograph, which I was doing on Sunday on a poster, and they took care of that for me through their management.
Nice.
And I went back just to thank him for it and shook his hand and tell him how much I love Drag Me to Hell. And, even though it's probably
Great.
one of the least appreciated movies in his repertoire,
So
but how
good.
much I loved it, he really appreciated that.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I love making it. I'm like, thanks. I love watching it. So, so that's really my Bruce Campbell story.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun times.
I'm glad, as a fan like Roger is, that his experience was so positive.
Yeah, and I couldn't have done it without Shelly and also Sherry.
I
Yeah.
can't
as
say
well.
that for others, but
Yeah.
I'm
Shell-
so glad that Roger had a very
Yeah.
positive and kind of like a dream come true day with some of his
And remember
idols.
this, they haven't known me for very long either. At this
Yeah.
point, this is
We
only
hadn't.
like
No, we just knew you could do
as
it.
Lisa's
Well,
boyfriend. So this is like a big, because I could go in there and be a dick and
well,
have a bad experience,
it,
but the fact that they trusted me at that point early on
yeah,
and knew I would do well, which I did.
yeah.
Just just listened and
We
just did what he told me.
we had no bodies left, and we needed specifically a guy, unfortunately. So,
Yeah.
or one of us probably could have done it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
He told me there's two Bruce Campbells. There's Bruce Campbell at home in Oregon, and there's Business Bruce.
Yeah.
He's like, this is Business Bruce, and this is what we're gonna. That's when I first met him. He's like, this is what we need to do. This is how we do it. It's like I've done these 100 times everywhere. This
Yeah.
is how it runs smooth. And he just told me what I needed him to do. Well, essentially, all I did was I stood at his table, and he would give me
Moved
a signal.
posters. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would move like all the stuff he would sign. I'd move it to a side table so it would speed the line along. Because he likes like I know people like to sit there and talk and tell me their life stories and how much everything meant to, which is fine. But we still have to get through a line, and there's some, we got to make the money and blah blah blah. I'm like, he's like, just I'll give you a look. I'll even say your name. Yeah, like a wink, a point. I'll say your name.
Yeah.
Just look for the signals. That means come grab their stuff, move it, and hurry them. I'm like, okay. So he would give him like a minute or
Yeah.
so, and then he would give me the wink or the look or say, hey, Roger's gonna move you over there, and we get so I'd stick it, and it went really really smooth, and we would knock out the line in an hour,
He
2
was
hours.
amazing. He
Yeah.
can. Everyone who wants to meet Bruce, and that's always the hardest thing to explain when his line looks so daunting. I tried to tell that even with the Brad Dourif experience. I'm like, you're gonna meet him. He's gonna get through every single person. They're like the only person we've ever had to worry about that is Robert England, and
Yes.
not for nothing. It's only because like he gives like 5 minutes to each fan,
Mhm.
and he's just been through so much with his hands and can't sign as much as he used to that at any point he's done. So
Yeah.
like all these other guys who didn't use their hands as their main moneymaker can sign for longer and faster, and like you're gonna meet them,
Yeah.
and you're gonna get your moment, and it's gonna be great, and you're gonna remember it, and people just need to trust in that sometimes with these long lines and
Yeah.
actors and whatnot.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad Loose Ends was able to be something a little different for this one, just because of your guys like behind the scene work. So thank you both for sharing those perspectives and cool stories. And I have a small handful of interesting facts, so I'll just rattle them off. But Bruce Campbell tentatively asked his father if he could put up one of their family properties in northern Michigan as collateral to take out a loan, so Sam Raimi not only could finish the film but also blow it up to 35 millimeter. So to Campbell's surprise, his father agreed, and Raimi was so grateful that Bruce's dad gave him the money that he gave Bruce a co-producer title for this. Another interesting fact: the white liquid that often emanates from the possessed after they're injured
Is it milk?
It is 2% milk.
Yes.
That Sam chose to use, not just to show how the possessed aren't normal beings, but also to mix it up so it was the MPAA wouldn't give it an X rating. So it was Sam mixing it up. Two birds, one stone, I guess you could say.
It reminds me of Alien. Whenever I see the milk, it reminds me of the robots in Alien when they get like fucked up and all the white shit's spraying everywhere. Just like, oh god, it has to be milk. Always has to be fucking milk.
The only other fun fact I have is Sam Raimi originally titled this film Book of the Dead and initially released it under the name, but the producer Ivan Shapiro suggested changing it for a wider release out of fear that kids would be turned off by seeing a movie with a literary reference. The other titles that were considered were Sex Bad Must Kill, Lick the Blood Off My Shovel, and until it was finally changed to Evil Dead on Shapiro's suggestion. So it could have been named some pretty crazy shit.
It's too many.
Lick the blood off my shovel.
Titles should be short and sweet.
Yes.
It's not like
get to the point.
15 words.
Yeah. All right. So that takes us to the end of our discussion on the Evil Dead. And now it is time for the Wheel of Death. All right. So here is our master list. We're going to pull a movie from to replace Evil Dead. So let's see what we get off the master list. We have, it's a Roger movie.
Oh, snap.
the coffee table. So let's go to our wheel. And we are adding the coffee table.
It's funny they just did a remake of it too, called the Turkish coffee table.
They did a remake of this movie already?
Yeah, director from Turkey remade it. It was just on a podcast I recently listened to, Movie
Oh.
Crypt, and he was on there talking about it's called the Turkey's coffee his Turkey coffee table. They're essentially a remake of it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me read off the 10 movies on the wheel and then we will spin it. First movie, Caveat. Next film, Planet Terror. Then we have Terrified. Next, A Bay of Blood. And then we have One Cut of the Dead. Then there's The Orphanage. Next is Brain Scan. Then we have Together. The newly added The Coffee Table. And then finishing off our wheel, we have Bone Lake. All right. Are you guys ready to attempt to do the chant?
I think we're gonna get it this time. It's been a little off.
It has been a little off, but we will.
But I think by the end of this, we're gonna get either this time or the end of the season, we're gonna be all unison.
All unison. I love it. All right, you ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wheel of Death.
Wheel
of Dead. Wheel
of
Dead.
Snap.
We have a listener submission, and that is Steve F., who gave us Bone Lake.
Is that the legendary Stephen Fallon?
Oh, it is the legendary. Yes, that. So let's see where.
This is the 2025 Bone Lake.
Yes.
Where did he even get this? Because it's not available anywhere.
It's not showing
Is it-
anywhere?
Or
No,
is it the 2024 Bone Lake?
there's
The
no
new-
other Bone Lake.
I show it on Netflix. It might be on
Yeah.
Netflix.
It was on Netflix at one point. I don't know if it still is. I
Okay.
remember it premiering, but I never watched it.
Well, I
It's
will.
just
yeah.
not really readily available for those who don't have streaming.
That don't have Netflix. Okay. So, I mean, I'm sure it's available for rent somewhere if someone needs to jump on Amazon or whatnot. But yeah,
You can rent it for $4.99 on Prime Video or Apple TV.
there you go.
as well.
Yeah, but it's a movie people haven't seen. It's a little hard to be like, I'm gonna spend money on that.
Yeah. Hopefully you have Netflix or a friend who's got Netflix, and yeah, go hang out and watch Bone Lake. But yeah, don't miss out. Tune into the end of the season. We'll be taking all 16 of the films we've watched and have them battle out in our deathmatch tournament. If you listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please hit the follow button and give us a rating and review if you like what we do. If you watch us on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe so you don't miss an upload. You can find us on Facebook and TikTok by searching Little Bracket of Horrors, and on Instagram by typing at Little Bracket of Horrors.
Also, I promise I won't troll you on TikTok all
Stop
the time.
it. Yeah, stop. But we also have merch available at tpublic.com. Just search for our name in their website search bar or pay attention to our socials for a direct link. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I'm Derek,
I'm Shelly.
And I'm Roger.
and we will catch you on the other side.
You have created a monster and it will destroy you. It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! The monster has been seen in the hills terrorizing the mountainside. I'm ready! Take your torches and go!
Boop. And that's it. We got through it. On an this is the earliest we've recorded since probably the first or second season. We haven't done an early morning Sunday recording in a long time.
That's fine. It's fine. I have the rest of the day now to
Yeah, no.
do stuff around the house.
I think I'm
Well,
going.
and
to
I
call-
prefer the weekends because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
too late for me to do weekdays.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Oh. All right. Well, it was a pleasure, and
You have a soccer match to watch today.
I
Derek.
do. There's the final
3
for the
o'clock.
World Cup's at 3 p.m.
And
But I
watch
think I'm
Argentina
going to Coles.
Gifted the World Cup.
Yeah. Shelly, are you excited about the World Cup final?
No.
Damn it. All right. Well, enjoy your Sunday. I'll have this up by Wednesday. I'll work on it today and Monday, Tuesday, and stuff. What'd you say? Carrie's here. What'd you say? Soccer does start this week. Ian's starting soccer.
Ends and starts.
All right. Well, I will catch y'all later then.
Hey, bye.
Bye. Bye, Roger.
Bye, Derek.
Bye. And this is where Shelly goes through our social media platforms and shares your guys' thoughts. So, Shelly, take it away.
Pulling it up.
Oh, question. I posted on my page. Did you see the comments I got?
You know what? Let me grab them really quick.
Because John was on there.
I did, and I said to myself, there's comments, and I
Yeah.
never grabbed them. But I just found Carrie's on our page. Yes,
Oh,
there
yeah.
we go.
Okay, good. Carrie,
There's
comment.
3 there. Let me just post these into my note really quick.
Yeah. No sweat.
Sorry.
No, you're
I
good.
did get all the Facebook comments,
Nice.
which I think is the only place we had.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think.
Oh, I
Anthony
didn't
did.
check TikTok.
Oh, yeah, Roger.
Oh, was it just Roger on
It
TikTok?
was Roger going back and forth with some guy. He was talking to some dude.
Hold
Oh yeah,
on.
I was trolling a little bit just for fun.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah, we got. My God, everyone who left a comment left like paragraphs.
Yeah, it's getting
It's getting crazy.
like they're
It's the
on the
passion.
show with us.
I
They're
know,
on
I
the
know.
show with us.
People are very passionate about their Evil Dead.
Yeah, they are. Look at that. Quinlan's got like 3 paragraphs.
Yeah.
Yeah, love
Hold
it.
on. I'm
Just
going to look to see.
Throw it in ChatGPT and tell it to summarize it into like 3 sentences.
This is what people think. ChatGPT is going to
there's
start smoking.
People are on here bitching at Roger because he's being a dumbass. That's what happened on TikTok.
Yeah, Roger's being a troll on our own TikTok page. Wrong page.
And then someone named David said when the tree spanked her and a laughing face. I think I can leave any of that out.
Yeah, that's nothing. That's
Okay.
useless. Good.
All right. All right.